There's a lot of shovelware on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to eShop titles, many of which don't come close to the Kickstarter game Shovel Knight. Developed by Yox Club Games back in 2014, Shovel Knight was released on Microsoft Windows, the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS. Later, it got released on PS3, PS4, PS Vita and Xbox One before finally making it onto the Nintendo Switch in 2017. This game has gained a cult following in the 5 years since it's launched. With new campaigns and sequels and spin-offs which are in the works, the title character even made it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as an assist trophy. So obviously, this game is a pretty big deal, especially as this was an indie game designed specifically as a love letter to the video games which were made in the 1980s, primarily for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So now it's finally time for me to give you my thoughts on Shovel Knight. I'll start off by saying that 2D platformers aren't my speciality. I suck pretty badly at them, especially old ones from the NES era. This one is quite challenging, but one thing which I noticed straight away right off the bat was that the music, level design, all of it was very charming. And overall, I think that as a first level, it is a really good start to the game. I love the way you can control the Shovel Knight. The down thrust is quite cool to use. Obviously, this could be a nod to Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, as Link does a similar action in that game. The objective is quite simple. Get to the end of the stage, fight a rival knight and collect gold along the way. Each level has a rival knight as an end boss. Each one of them is unique in their own way. Usually they could be themed around the level. Some of them are challenging to face while others are a little bit easy. It depends on how good you are. I just about passed the level by the skin of my teeth for the majority of the time, but every time I do, the level of satisfaction I feel is astounding. This generation, not many games can do that, especially indie games. In Shovel Knight, you can collect rewards using the gold that you've collected on your travels. These rewards are typically extra health, new special moves, and you can also upgrade your armour as well as your shovel, which can help you a long way, especially in the harder levels. Each level is a fairly good length. The developers really didn't mess around here. They knew what they were doing. So much so, I kept getting my ass kicked. Every time I died, it wasn't because of some bad game design, it was because I just simply made a mistake. I got punished. Each time you die, you lose your gold. The only way to get it back is to go back to the spot where you got killed and then go collect bags of it. I'm in two minds over this choice of game design. On one hand, it makes you want to play the game more, to get back to where you've already picked up. On the other hand, if you die again before you reach that spot where you died before, you've lost that gold for good. So, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is, don't die. Easier said than done, right? Another thing, if you're really low on gold and you think, I could really do with some more, well, you can. You can destroy checkpoints and get a ton of gold, but that comes at a price. If you die, you have to start further back because that checkpoint is gone and it's gone for good until you are done with that level. So I guess this is a sort of gamble, but it pays off. It feels good. You see, that's what it's all about. Not all this microtransaction bullshit what I went on about in my Skyrim review. You can gamble using in-game currency, not real-world currency. Now to finish off, all I can say is Shovel Knight is a very enjoyable game and definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of the NES era. There's plenty to do here, and as mentioned earlier, there are also multiple campaigns starring different characters such as Plague Knight, Spectre Knight and King Knight, all of which control differently to Shovel Knight. It's a really, really good idea, and it seems to be paying off as this is still popular today. The game is a breath of fresh air, and in my opinion, this game stands out as one of the best indie games ever made. If you want to have some fun for a few hours on your Nintendo Switch in handheld mode or even on the TV, I really do recommend it in handheld mode though. It just works a lot better. Then this is the game for you. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.